Slightly off topic, a baby crested gecko just hatched out. If it's all good and goes okay, it's actually going to be given to a teacher friend of mine, because I'm kind of like that. It looks like a real beautiful one as well. A crested gecko from my pair that come to schools regularly. They often produce eggs and babies, and I often just give them away. Something pretty special that I was fortunate to breed and produce viable young last year. I don't know, black-headed python. Look at that. So non-colubrid. This is the male. They are absolutely stunning. One-handed python wrangling. Not easy, don't want that in my face, but so far never been bitten by these guys, only by accident with food involvement. But black-headed python, goodness me. What a species to have here. That is absolutely awesome. Very unpython-like. In fact, while they're young and skinny, more like a colubrid in every way. Or in many ways, certainly in design and build. Look at that. It's about 7-8 feet long now. Pretty sturdy. Not sure whether they're produced this year. Possibly didn't get their temperatures down cool enough. But we'll see. God blimey, I need to grow bigger muscles. There he is. Black-headed python from Australia. Not a bad creature to have here. Black rat snake growing on. Young female. Normal colours, which I prefer. Look at that. It's really growing now. Anyway, I'll show you her boyfriend in the waiting. I prefer this one though, because she's normal. Lovely snake. Quite an interesting snake, but at this size, still quite shy. Often catch her out in the early morning basking and then she hides away. Hello. She hides away when she sees me. Can't blame her. Here he is, a little bit bigger, this guy. Big old boy. His name's Dakota. One of the few snakes here that does have a name. More of an albino black rat snake. He's pretty, I guess, if you like your morse and things, but I just prefer the wild type. Oh, stop hissing. So very nice, very big, very strong snakes. Very good at climbing up tree trunks and bark. That is crushing my hand. Very strong constrictors. And what you can't really see here, he's actually quite big. By the way, welcome back to the channel. And as you probably started to realise, this video is me showing you all the species of snakes that are currently in a reptile room that aren't brumating. Lots of them aren't here at this time of year. I'll show you them on another video. But for now, welcome to the channel and enjoy meeting some beautiful snakes, most of which are colubrids, but not all. If I can get him off my hands, we'll pop him away and we'll carry on with the video. By the way, whoa! By the way, it is filmed. That was nearly my big nose. Caught me by surprise there. It's all filmed over a couple of different days. You cheeky monkey. Made me go red. You are cheeky. I know. Sticking your tongue out. Albino. Pretty poor eyesight, I should think. Like a lot of albinos animals actually are. Normal phase. Pueblo milk snake female here. We've got a normal male and a lovely big apricot female, but they are currently brumating. This girl now, I don't breed from her anymore. She's bred a couple of years, but she's, I don't know, 15 years old. Maybe not quite that. Yeah, 15 years old. And the other two are brumating. They'll be breeding next year. Beautiful species. Can't rate them highly enough. Great pet snake. Interesting to breed and beautiful to look at. Look at this. Eastern indigo snake. Look at that. How lucky am I to be able to work with such an amazing, beautiful, excuse me, look at the iridescence on that. Look at that. Hold on. Let's see. Is he going to catch the light? Maybe not, but beautiful, iridescent species of snake. I don't know where he's going. Oh, there he is, trying to get in there with a mangrove snake. Who would eat who in that competition? I don't know. Look at that. I used to, it's so iridescent here, but I just don't think it's coming up on the camera. Beautiful. Look at that. What a beautiful species that is. And how about a big yellowtail crebo female? Not a constrictor snake. And yet, the strength in this guy's coils, or this girl's coils, absolutely ridiculous. It's not a constrictor. She's hissing and puffing a little bit. But very, very strong. The crebos, the drymarchons, indigo snakes. The grip, it's like the kraken's got me around the neck. And yet, they're not constrictors. They just bite and bludgeon their prey to death. The male's gone into blue, he's getting into shed. Not handled very often. As you can tell, came to me as adults. Yellowtails are flighty anyway. But what a beautiful creature that is. Not going to focus on her. The male, much brighter colours, but not at the moment. He's in shed. I'm going to be hissing and wheezing in a minute myself. Let's pop her away. Stunning animals. Much smaller. Much smaller. But my goodness, the grey-banded king snake. Hold on. It's not going to focus on him. Oh, look at that. What a beauty. You've seen him before. But what a stunning snake that is. What about these? Green Barons Racers. By the way, check out the reptile playlist on the channel if these are your things. Lots more standalone reptile videos now. Growing all the time. But look at that. Just nature's wonders. Look at that. And its cute little Pinocchio nose. Beautiful. Lots of growing still to do for these guys. These girls, as they actually are. Anyway, lots more to do. Hello. So I did want to show you guys the biggest male Vietnamese blue beauty, who's well over 10 feet long, I should think now. But I've made a mistake because they love that log, cork back tube. But of course now if I want to take him to school or show you, I've got to kind of dismantle the whole thing and poke him out with something, which I don't do. So have a look at the smaller one, who's a blue variety. But these, the two big males, are actually, you can't see, the green phase of the blue beauties. Enjoy the smaller one, and apologies. What about these Vietnamese blue beauties? Quite snappy sometimes. This is the smallest of them all. Here, she's separate from the other three because she's still got a bit of catching up to do. Look at that, typical blue beauty pose. Whoa, and that's why. how to be defensive. Let's be offensive. Stunning snakes though, look at this. A blue Vietnamese blue beauty snake. So here's the larger of my two Russian rat snakes. Xanthic, so missing the bright yellow banding. Oh, where's going? Hold on. All this one-handed wrangling, it's not easy. There she is. So, beautiful species, Russian rat snakes. Check out the playlist. We've done one on these already. A really nice snake to work with. They get quite large, quite long, without being sort of an immensely big, heavy-bodied snake. And they're certainly good climbers. They love a high, tall vivarium. But look at this. Goodness me. This video is harder than I thought it was going to be. It has got a head. There we are. Just about. The Russian rat snake. One of a pair we have here, growing on for a future breeding project. Hello. Very nice indeed. Another snake on the playlist, the Brazilian rainbow boa. Again, a young pair growing on. Hopefully something we'll produce in the future. Check out the website, King Snake Colubrids. That's where most of the stuff is kept up to date. If you're interested in acquiring different snakes and things, check out the snakes for sale page, and on there, certainly by next summer, there'll be a variety of things back available. Whoa, not these though, because these are going to be at least another year away yet. But look at this. Another iconic species that needs sunshine to do it any kind of justice at all. But what a beautiful pattern. Brazilian rainbow boas, one of only two species here, I believe, that aren't colubrid snakes. I get the black-headed pythons and the rainbow boas. A fantastic school educational snake as well. Look at that. Just absolutely gorgeous. Sadly, she's going into shed. Beautiful crested gecko and the mother to that little baby. Who doesn't love crested geckos? Gorgeous little things. Great pets, like any nocturnal animal. Something you don't see a great deal of unless you get it out, but small, easy to keep, easy going. Hang on. Whoa. What a brilliant reptile pet indeed. Yum yum. Keep a few stick insects here. Giant budwings. Something that just breed continuously. As well as jungle nymphs, which I tend not to breed because I can't be bothered to wait for the eggs to hatch. And I buy in as nymphs and grow on. But budwing stick insects, easy to keep species. Large without being ginormous. Highly recommended, and again brilliant as part of my school educational team. I love stick insects. I've had them on and off pretty much my whole life. My first exotic pet being a giant prickly stick insect. Map turtles, they're here as rehomes, and they'll be going to my friend Tommy's house in the spring when the yellow belly sliders he's looking after for me come back to go in outdoor enclosures. Map turtle males don't grow very big. Not a bad pet terrapin, map turtles, because of their small size. Look at those two boys showing off. Here's a holdback yellowtail crebo. She's about 5 feet long now, just a small one. Really annoyingly, the 8-foot male is deep in blue. What a shame for this video. You'll have to subscribe to catch that ginormous, huge yellowtail crebo back in a future video. Well, black-tailed crebos, yeah, another icon. Not as iconic as the Eastern Indigo, not as colourful as the yellowtail crebo, but a fantastic species of snake. Many times called akin to being, or to keeping, a non-venomous king cobra, just because of their personality and even their kind of looks and their snake-eating behaviour in the wild. Absolute beautiful snake. And of course in these videos you're really not appreciating the size of these animals. Even this young blacktail, which is now, as you can see, a pretty stocky long individual, but it's just a juvenile. We're going to come this way. Oh, it's not happening, is it? It is actually quite difficult getting things to show off various parts of them, like their faces. Oh, here we are. Here we are. Look at that. Beautiful head markings, beautiful faces, beautiful snakes. And again, getting to a really, really good sized snake. But black-tailed crebos, something I'm incredibly lucky to work with, even though at the moment we've got one individual waiting on an unrelated female, hopefully this year, to grow on. The snake capable of getting to certainly 8 feet long. Less flighty than the yellowtails, definitely, probably not a nicer pet to work with in personality and the way they move, but they don't have the stunning colours, but they still are special looking species indeed. First snakes I ever bred, well, exotic snakes other than grass snakes collected locally and worked with as a kid, are false water cobras. I've been breeding them for 10 years probably, and in all that time this is my only holdback, a very hypomelanistic looking caramel kind of coloured falsie. It's not exactly brilliant coloured, it's just something really different. I've only bred 2 of these, one I sent to friends in Spain, and this guy here, very slow growing individual, doesn't eat with the sort of pig-like habits of many falsies. He'll only eat 1 food item at a time. If I put 2 in, he won't eat it. Normally my falsies eat 3 or 4 or more food items at once. This guy, he also has sort of pretty long spells where, yeah, he's not eating at all. He's certainly in good body shape, in good condition, but not growing as fast as many a falsie does. Look at that though, very pale patterns on his hood there. Very little patterning in it indeed. Hopefully we'll get an unusual, similar coloured female to pair with him in the future. Especially as my actual adult pair are now, goodness me, 12 years old probably, maybe 11. False water cobras, guys, if you want a large colubrid snake as a pet, they are absolutely awesome. Seemingly intelligent for a snake. They'll certainly be one of the most intelligent snakes you ever have. They'll come out all the time, and they are incredibly handleable unless you underfeed them, in which case everything that moves they'll try and bite and eat. Not aggression, just hunger. Look at that. A caramel falsie. Have a look at something different though. The mother of that falsie. My first ever false water cobra. She's produced many, many young over the years. First snake I ever tried to breed properly, and she is 7.5 foot. Absolutely solid snake, solid colubrid snake. And definitely, hold on, not very good climbers. So a snake that you need to kind of support, they're pretty rubbish. The smaller ones, very good at wrapping around, but she is always a handful one-handed. Look at that snake. Absolutely humongous false water cobra, and she is measured well over 7 feet long now. I don't know if I can even get her in a position to show you. Absolutely humongous snake. I just want you to see, oh, they're all going to the light behind us, aren't they? It's like juggling moths or something and trying to point them away from the light. Hold on, she might go around. Hold on. No, she's going to go in there. And yeah, the mangrove snake wouldn't win in this fight, that's for sure. 2 snake-eating snakes, one ginormous. That's it, we've got her on there. Oh no, she's not going to have it. She's not going to have it. Come on, you're so heavy. Oh. Again, she needs to feature in her own short video. Absolute monster, high black, false water cobra. Check out the playlist, and if you want to know how to keep these, go on my old channel, which is now defunct, Raptor Exotics Falconry, and go through this playlist there for how to keep false water cobras. Absolute beast of a snake. Hissing cockroaches, very helpful stars to many of my school educational visits. A bit cockroachy, but completely benign, easygoing, long-lived insects indeed. The Madagascan hissing cockroach. Okay, love it or hate it, guys, the only holdback of my hybrid king snake breeding is in here somewhere. Hybrids aren't my thing. Lots of people keep them and breed them. I don't have a problem with that if that hybrid is always known as what it is, never changing hands as a species on its own that it might look like. But look at this, just so unusual, which is why people breed hybrids. So unusual, I had to hold it back to see what it turns into, or rather if it keeps that colour into an adulthood. Variable king snake, Pueblo milk snake, Californian king snake tribrid. Typically in shed. This is an eastern black king snake, not a Mexican black. They don't have that solid black of a good Mexican black. Very few of these around in the UK. You don't see many around. They get blacker as they get bigger, and this is one of a pair of juvenile eastern blacks here. And as I said, what a shame she's in shed, because they have a really lovely iridescence to their colour or to their skin. Just starting to kind of take off a bit in size now, like the Russian rat snakes. So a couple of years we should be producing something a little bit different, and actually really nice species of snake, the eastern black king snake. Another youngster in here, one of the apricot Pueblo milk snakes I bred here in 2021, a holdback male, and this year I held back a half sister, another lovely apricot half sister to go with him, and I sold it by accident to a wholesaler amongst 20 king snakes, a batch of 20, and what an idiot, I kept back another male by mistake, and I don't know how I did this. I ended up selling his female on to a wholesaler, so this male now, he's up for sale, and I'll start again this year and pick a couple of really nice ones. But what a shame, he's grown lovely, and he had an equally beautiful girlfriend to go with him. What a numpty, but that's how it goes sometimes, especially if you rush around, don't pay attention. But they really are lovely. Pueblo milk snakes, as I said earlier, you can't fault them. The only other species of snake is in here, Aesculapian snakes. They're hiding away. I can't get them out without destroying their home, so you'll have to check out the reptile playlist. ping on the Aesculaping snake video, which is a new one on the channel, to see these beautiful snakes, because we're not going to see them today. My days of keeping tarantulas have long gone. The big beautiful ones have all been given away because I've developed a really good allergy to their irrigating hairs. And I've just got a little curly hair and a couple of others to help me with my school visits. I handle them very infrequently now because they really give me an irritating, itchy rash indeed. But I do love tarantulas, and spiders of all kinds really fascinate me. So juvenile curly hair tarantula. Pretty boring when they're not out. They do make kind of interesting kids' pets, and they are helpful at school as well, because a little drop of water on them and they soon wake up and do their thing. Two of my snails are twice this size, giant African snails. I also keep the albino variety, which are quite nice as well. Something for a future video maybe, when I've got time to wake them up and show you them off properly. Giant African land snail, interestingly spread all around the world as an invasive species to most tropical parts of the world, and certainly in parts of Thailand I've been to. Interesting to see, not only are they an invasive pest everywhere, they are now, because of their numbers, the go-to shell for land hermit crabs to live in. So a species of hermit crab in a part of the world living in these shells that shouldn't even be there. Shows how numerous they are. Another species from my exotic animal keeping sort of childhood, and that's the giant millipede. Whoops. Again, nowadays, purely for my school educational business. Still a fascinating creature to keep indeed. They do need a really deep substrate of several inches of slightly damp sort of substrate, coir, compost, whatever you want to use, if they're going to survive long term, because they do dig deep tunnels to shed their skin, and they'll stay there underground for quite some time until their new skin hardens. Lots of little springtails on there, but they also have commensal mites that do them no harm and stay on board, literally using them as a train or a taxi to go from here to there. But the giant millipede, always a school kid's favourite. Let's end on an icon, the mangrove snake. Well renowned for their snappy behaviour, their big gobs and their rear-fanged venomous secretions. Beautiful snake. She just wants to go home in the day. At night, she's a ravenous, hungry animal that will strike at anything that moves purely for food. Certainly not trustworthy. By day, she just wants to go back and sleep, and that's all she does. Boring as heck in the day, but if you come in a reptile room and turn the lights on at night, what a stunning dragoness she really is. Let's pop her back in. And there she goes. Absolute beauty of the snake world. Another icon that I wanted to keep forever. I hope you've enjoyed this video. A whirlwind a whirlwind tour of all the animal species, not all the animals, all the animal species in my reptile room in the winter time, not including all those snakes that are brumating, which we might get to see in another video soon. Please subscribe, helps no end. Drop us a comment. Catch you later. Thanks a lot.